Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, guys. Welcome to our lesson today. We will study lesson 11, form, meaning, and function, page 16 and 17. In our lesson today, we will study simple past with used to. Use used to for past states, habits, and situations that are no longer true. يعني بنستخدم المصطلح ده يا شباب used to for habits or past habits or states في المواقف أو العادات القديمة الماضية that are no longer true لم تعد تحدث الحين. Okay. Morse, the inventor of the telegraph system, used to be a professor at New York University. يعني كان أستاذ جامعي في جامعة نيويورك. كان هناك he used to teach arts and design. وكان معتاد على تدريس arts and design. يبقى الحاجات دي in the past. Okay. People used to communicate by telegraph. Telegraph companies used to dispatch telegraph by train across the United States. عندك كلمة dispatch here means send quickly. يعني كانوا متعودين على إرسال التليجراف. وهنا used to communicate كانوا معتادين على communicate التواصل. يبقى الحاجات ديت in the past. And now no longer true or no longer happen. Yes and no questions. في السؤال بنستخدم did وبنرجع used to إلى use to. نحذف منها حرف الدي. خد بالك. Did you used to have a blue car? طبعا في الإجابة yes I did. I sold it 3 years ago. يبقى هو كان معاه السيارة ولكن حاليا مش موجودة. بيقول I sold it 3 years ago يعني باعها من 3 سنوات. Did they used to play football every week? No they didn't. They used to play tennis. هنا في السؤال استخدمنا use. في الإجابة استخدمنا used. Okay. طيب used to and what? Used to and what بنستخدم الكلمتين بنفس المعنى ولكن في اختلاف بسيط ما بينهم. يقول لي هنا we can also use what in place of used to. ممكن نستخدم what بدل used to for the past habits but we cannot use what for past states. لو كان عندي عادات ممكن نستخدم used to بدل what أو what بدل used to. ولكن for past states في الحالات الماضية لو بنتكلم على حالة بنوصف حالة في الحالة دي بنستخدم used to ما ينفعش نستخدم what. مثال بنقول in ancient times people would shout messages to the next tower in order to pass on information through the area. يعني الناس كانت متعودة ان هي تصيح لترسل رسائل to the next tower. المثال الثاني بيقول لي people used to have very powerful voices in those days. هنا بيوصف حالة فمش هينفع نستخدم what. قلنا used to have. يبقى ممكن نستخدم what لو كان في habit عادة. هنا كانوا بيصيحهم دي عادة. فممكن نستخدم what أو ممكن نستخدم used to. ولكن هنا لما جه يوصف حالة قلنا used to have very powerful voice. كان لديهم أصوات قوية. بقينا بنوصف حالتهم. من الخطأ إن احنا نقول people would have very powerful voices. بنوصف حالتهم يبقى ما نقولش would. لابد هنا نستخدم used to. Information questions. لو أنا بنسأل ممكن نستخدم how did people in the America used to transmit message? They use smoke signals. ممكن نسأل برضو why did people used to shout from signal towers? They wanted to pass on messages. What did you used to do when you were young? I used to ride my bike in the park. Take care. In question we use used to with the helping verb did, but in the answer we use used to. هنا use without D, هنا used with the letter D. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now complete the paragraph with the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Use used to, would, and didn't used to. Who will start? Yes, Ayman?
Okay. My grandparents often tell me that life before the internet was very different to how it's nowadays. When my grandfather was young, he didn't use to have a computer, laptop, or tablet, or even a cell phone.
Very good, Ayman. Didn't use to have. Thank you, Ayman. Next paragraph. Okay, Ahmed?
He told me that in those days people would speak to people on a phone that was fixed to the wall of the house.
So speak becomes?
People would speak.
What speak?
Or used to speak.
Yes, very good, Ahmed. And people use?
People used to use their phones to take digital images.
In the past, people used to use their phones to take digital images. Used to or didn't?
Didn't use.
Yes, didn't used to use. Thank you, Ahmed. Next paragraph. Okay, Abdurrahman.
Okay, teacher. Next paragraph. It's number 4.
4, yes. They take photos.
Yeah.
Take becomes?
They use to take.
Yes.
I mean the answer.
Or would take photos. Yes. That needed.
They use to take points with camera. Needed a special role of film.
Yes, and they print.
They use to print.
Print.
The print the photos. The photos on a
special.
The photos on a special kind of paper and put on a photo plane.
Okay, thank you, Abdurrahman. Print becomes used to or would print. Next paragraph. Yes, Yusuf.
Moreover, people didn't used to find information in books, and they actually used to actually
the first one find becomes.
Moreover, people used to find information in books, and they used to actually paper maps to get to places. They used to use actual paper maps.
Yes. And they also read paper.
They also used to read paper.
Read becomes?
Which a paper boy used to deliver. They also used to read paper newspapers,
yes,
which a paper boy used to deliver.
Yes, very good, Yusuf. Thank you, Yusuf. Next part, Of course, to complete, my grandfather said it was just like getting a printed internet on their doorstep every morning. These days, it's much quicker to find information and stay in touch, but life before the internet sure sounds amazing. Okay. Next part, there is and there are. Singular nouns, with singular noun we use there is, okay, and there is followed by a singular noun. There is a phone message for you. There is a book on the shelf. There is a boy in the class, okay. So there is with singular nouns. There are with plural nouns. There are lots of unanswered emails in my book. There are a lot of boys in class. There are a lot of books on the table. Okay, is it clear? Yes. Plurals. Plurals, the regular nouns. We have regular nouns and irregular nouns. With regular nouns, we add to the noun s to form the plural. For example, letter, letters, card, cards, email, emails. Okay. In some cases, we add es. We add es if the noun ends with s, ch, sh, o, or x. If the noun ends with these letters, we add es. Example, in box, here, x, in boxes. Business, businesses. Watch, watches. Okay. Another case, if the noun ends in y and it has a consonant before it or a consonant followed by y, in this case we delete y and add ies. Okay. Example, city, cities. Company, companies. Story, stories. Here, take care for the y followed the t sound. T is a consonant. Here n consonant. R consonant. يبقى الشرط هنا يا شباب ان يكون الواي جاي بعد حرف ساكن. Another case, if the noun ends with f or fe, in this case we change the f or fe to ves. Example, leave, leaves, wife, wives, life, lives. Okay, these are the regular nouns. Note here, if the noun has a vowel before the final y, then we add an s, like boy, boys, day, days, donkey, donkeys. يعني لو كان حرف الواي يسبقه حرف متحرك vowel اللي هم الخمسة A, E, I, O, U. لو لقيت قبليه حرف متحرك في الحالة ديت we add s، بنضيف s وليس IES. يبقى ال IES لابد يكون في حرف ساكن. Okay. Next part is irregular nouns. In irregular nouns, we don't have certain rule. Okay, we don't have certain rule here, but we must keep them by heart. Man, men, woman, woman, child, children, tooth, teeth, foot, feet, mouse, mice, deer, deer, fish, fish. So the plural here we don't add s or es. Okay, this is or there, these are irregular nouns. Okay. The definite article the أداة التعريف the. Use the definite article the before singular and plural nouns when we know what or who we are referring to. يعني لما نكون عارف أنا بأشير إلى إيه شيء محدد معين بنستخدم ده. The children at the local school. هنا بنتكلم على الأولاد اللي في اللوكال سكول. The children are at the local school got some new computers. Use the definite article the for objects that are one of a kind. one of a kind يعني شيء وحيد أو فريد من نوعه، زي ما نقول the internet, the sun, the Masmic fortress, the Holy Quran. الحاجات دي طبعا مفيش غيرها إلا شيء واحد أو فريدة من نوعها، مفيش إلا حاجة واحدة منها، فعشان كده بنستخدم معاها أداة التعريف ده. Let's practice. Look at the picture here. Write sentences to describe the different ways people communicate. Compare with a partner. Example here. There is a man writing an email on a computer. Who can describe these photos with more sentences? Okay, Ayman?
There are two men.
Yeah.
There are two men reading the book,
Yes.
and there are two men eating the food
Yes.
or the dinner, and there are man watching TV.
Okay, thank you, Ayman. Here are sample answers. There is a man watching the news on TV. There is a man speaking on a cell phone. And there are two men eating lunch. And there are two men reading magazines or reading a newspaper. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and see you next lesson. Inshallah. Goodbye.